The great thing about this event is it gives us a real opportunity to have some insight into what's happening both at the City of Auburn and the government there and the county. Seeing some of the unique initiatives that they've undertaken, seeing some of the challenges that they're facing, and how we as leaders in the community can help support them. We go in the order we've gone in, I think, since the event has started. And so we're going to have the city begin their presentation. And so this time I'd like to call up not only a great leader in our community, but a personal friend, Mayor Michael Quill.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's pretty sad Andrew has got to leave the community, so he told you how he feels about it. But more about him in a few minutes. Thank you to the Chamber for hosting and organizing this annual event. It's always fun to be here and watch people's reaction when you say something that you think is clever, and normally it isn't. So just bear with me, folks, and I'll be very brief. So, with this new year came new members of our City Council. I know two of them, our two newest members are here. Councilor Jimmy Genentino. And Councilor Dia Carvajal. People were worried about how 5 Democrats would act as managers of the city, so I think there's more internal questions than there has been in the past, which I think is good for all of us to keep each other on our toes. But I'm looking forward to working more and more with these two, along with Terry Cuddy, who's out of state, and Councilor McCormick, who's unavailable today. So, Jimmy and Dia, best of luck to you. I'd like to move into our city manager search. Earlier this year, the council was notified by our city manager that he will be resigning from his position for personal reasons. Later in this presentation, I'll be discussing Mr. Selby with you more. But I'd like to begin today's presentation by stating that any city council's most important decision is to find a city manager that can lead our city's organization that is made up of more than 300 full-time and part-time employees. Auburn City Government provides a full portfolio of local government services, which includes streets, engineering, refuse collection, landfill operations, building code enforcement, energy production facility, fire, police, water and sewer treatment operations, parks, finance, economic development, planning, and general government services. And on top of that, we also own our own minor league baseball team. From that list, it can be determined that the city manager needs to be quite an experienced individual. Following Mr. Selby's resignation, we began the search for his replacement. The City Council has been working over the past 2 weeks on reviewing the resumes that have come in, and will begin interviewing individuals during the month of April. As part of the search process, we also be forming a community focus group to assist with the task. We will be asking this focus group to provide us with input on what they would like to see in the city manager, and we'll ask them to meet with finalists during the process. This community focus group will be appointed at the April 7th City Council meeting. If all goes well, the city manager search process, we hope that we will have someone on board by June of this year. As Mr. Selby's final day will be April 15th, I mean with the city, I don't mean his final day. I kind of looked over his glasses at me. I want to see if he's some example what we'll be doing in the interim. The answer to this question is in the daily dedication we receive from our 300 plus city employees. Myself, the council, and the city manager work every day alongside our city's dedicated civil servants, while the position of city manager is important. It is daily work of our city staff to get the job done. And we have full confidence that their work will continue to make Auburn proud. The Upstate Revitalization Initiative, everyone's heard about that, $500 million. So I'm going to switch topics a little bit. In recent years, the city and the county have experienced success in economic development as a community. Our cohesive effort locally provided us with the ability to work as a productive partner in the Central New York region with the Economic Development Council. Last year, the cooperative effort was rewarded as one of 3 recipients of the Governor's Upstate Revitalization Initiative. This $500 million investment in Central New York's economy is sure to make a significant difference moving forward, and we're all very excited about this process. Now, in just a few seconds, I summarize our recent success in economic development. If the process was as easy as a walk in a park, which it wasn't. The reality is that many people have been working hard over the years to make this success happen. Many developers have stepped forward. Many businesses have invested. Our city and county governments have been united in this effort. But I believe that it must be said that behind all this progress for Auburn and Cuba County, there has been an individual that has pulled us all together and has oftentimes been the catalyst for our success. That individual is my good friend, Andrew Fish. Andrew, I was sitting thinking of how I could describe him, so I came up with 5 things that I... Honesty, hardworking, knowledgeable, approachable, enthusiastic. And I mean that. There's no nothing at the end, so. With Mike Quill, you have to pay attention. This one I'm like, no. I will be honest though, when Mr. Selby announced his resignation, I asked Andrew if he'd be interested in possibly applying for the job. It took about 30 seconds and he wanted the goat farm city manager, goat farm city manager. So Andrew did not submit a resignation, so we know where we ended up. So, but Andrew, thank you for your friendship and everything you've done for our community. It is greatly appreciated. The Harriet Tubman Park, it seems like we've been talking about that every year for forever. Process for having Harriet Tubman's property named into a national park has taken over 2 years, or 2 decades, excuse me. It looks as though 2016 will be the year that establishment of the park in Auburn will become officially signed off by the U.S. Department of Interior. What we know is that moving forward, the National Park Service will be working in partnership with the Harriet Tubman Home Incorporated to begin to set up their presence in Auburn. What the National Park will be doing is they will be acquiring ownership of the church on Parker Street, assisting with the management and programming for the sites on South Street, or the Tubman Home as we call it. National Park Service staff will begin to be stationed here in Auburn in the not too distant future. This will be a significant step forward in the process. The National Park Service anticipates that the Tubman sites will become a well-visited component to their park system. This will continue to be a work in progress with proper planning and hopefully a partnership from the state of New York with future upstate revitalization initiative funding. This can become an economic enhancement, not only for Auburn, but the Central and Finger Lakes region. I'll be turning this over to Jenny Haynes in a minute. Many of you know Jenny is our Director of Planning and Economic Development. Jenny recently has taken on the additional responsibility as acting assistant city manager. What that means is she's been working closely with Doug Selby in recent weeks to assist with providing stability within our organization as we transition to the next city manager. Her commitment to our organization, our community is greatly appreciated, and she'll be leading us through the next segment of today's presentation. Okay?
I'm not as funny as the mayor, so bear with me. He's hard act to follow. Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce. Thank you to Mayor Quill and Doug Selby for giving me this opportunity to share some interesting and exciting things about the city of Auburn. As we were preparing for today, Suzanne Sinclair and I talked about doing a dance routine together, but we decided that you would be anticipating something different than that from us. So Suzanne, maybe another day. Engaging our community. We want you to know that your city government wants to engage you in what we do and how we do it. You have seen this from our mayor, from our city councilors. They are everywhere. I don't know how they do it. And you've seen it from our city staff. We've been out to talk to you about parks, about brownfields, about our capital projects, about our playgrounds. And we need to engage you, but it's more than that. We need you. And we're going to talk about a couple specific ways that we need you in just a moment. The mayor talked about our city employees. We have 334 city employees, and we have some of them here with us today. These are the people that everything we talk about, that is how it's accomplished, just through their hard work and dedication. So I wanted to ask all of you city employees that are here, please stand up and be recognized for the hard work that you do every day. And a special thanks from me to Stephen Selvik, Christina Selvik, and Renee Jensen, who worked hard to get us ready for today. And especially to Steve, who makes everything we talk about look beautiful on the screen. In Auburn, we take pride in our history, in our families, and in our community. We draw strength from our diversity and our unity, allowing Auburn to become the destination in the Finger Lakes region. The city has many community-driven initiatives that are in various stages of project development, and I want to share them with you today. In fact, Auburn has so many initiatives that we have a handout on your tables. And Christina, please show everybody that. Thank you. So please take a look at that, and then we'll go into a little bit more detail on some of our projects, because we want to make sure that we're keeping track of our time today. So first, I want to thank our city council. We have Mayor Quill and Dia Carabajal and Jimmy Giannantino with us today. Thank you for approving funding for these community initiatives. We could not do our projects without the approval of the City Council and the support. So this past year has been a banner year for capital projects. 46, in fact, $51 million worth of projects happening in the city. That is more than most upstate communities. So the foundation of any robust municipal capital program includes a portfolio of infrastructure, energy, and recreation programs. City of Auburn just so happens to have one of these projects in the west side of our city that blends all three of these components. The North Division Street Bridge Replacement Project, the Auburn Smart Grid Improvement Project, and the Owasco River Trail all come together in a long overdue facelift to the intersection of Clark and North Division Street. So we'll talk about each of those three really quick here. City is getting ready for a new double Kaplan turbine that will produce 50% more electricity at the North Division Street hydroelectric facility. Once it's commercially operational in the summer of 2017, the facility will allow the city to offset nearly 75% of the city's demand for electricity. So this $5 million project is made possible in part from a $1.2 million grant from New York State Empire State Development. Immediately following the implementation of the hydro improvement project, the city will be undertaking a $3.5 million bridge realignment and replacement project over the Owasco River on North Division Street. This is made possible by federal and New York State DOT funding, and there are several objectives for this project. One, to replace the deteriorated bridge that is there. Two, to improve the alignment of Clark Street intersection. Excuse me, I dropped my paper. That's the challenge of leaving the podium. 3, accommodate pedestrian and bicycle traffic. And 4, incorporate a node for the Owasco River Trail overlook. Interpretive signage to continue engaging students at the Auburn High School under the STEAM program. And I have to say, that program has been really fun. I had a great time tromping around the river with Mrs. First when we did that the other day. Mentioning these complementary projects, a common thread is found in collaboration. Collaboration with the public, consultants, And the state agencies creates opportunities. Opportunities to open doors for collaboration with partner municipalities, including Cuba County. We have some initiatives that we are working on in Cuba County in the spirit of cooperation, good service, efficiency, and cost savings. A strong, reliable public safety service network is a key element to any thriving city, and this year will be an important year for the future of public safety and economic development in downtown Auburn. The city and Cuba County unveiled in January 2016 the results of an inventory and assessment of current building infrastructure and operating needs for the city and county's public safety services. This entails the Auburn Police Department, the Fire Department, City Courts, County EMS, Cuba County 911, City County Emergency Management Office, and the Probation Department. The existing building that we have right now for police and fire is 85 years old and is no longer adequate to provide public safety services for the 21st century needs of the Auburn community. It's time for our city to take the next logical step in enhancing our public safety network. Currently, a joint city and county project committee are reviewing development options. Another project we're working on together, City Department of Public Works and Cuba County Highway Department presented at the joint City Council County Legislature meeting in February 2015 to discuss opportunities for shared resources, services, and consolidation of government assets, equipment, and facilities. A 5-year plan has been established with the final goal of relocating the City Department of Public Works to a new facility co-located at the County Highway Garage on York Street and State Street. The first phase of that, the city just completed renovations at our Logan Street Water Building Department, and our Water and Sewer Department staff are moving in there as we speak. This will leave space in the city's DPW facility for temporary improvements and co-location of the Cuba County Water Pool staff. The city and county are also collaborating on issues related to our health and the health of our children. County Public Health Director Kathleen Cuddy started the Lead Poisoning Prevention Task Force, as there is significant concern about the number of children who are testing for elevated levels of lead in their blood. Councilor Terry Cuddy and I have joined Health Department staff, County Legislature Chairman Keith Batman, County Mental Health staff, and partner agencies like HomeSite to work on more partnerships and collaboration as we work to address this issue together. Another sobering issue we are working on together is the heroin epidemic in our community. This is a problem that's not just in our city and county, but in our country. An issue that nobody has been able to figure out. An issue that our police, fire, sheriff's department, emergency responders, and agencies like CHAD deal with every day. So this is one of the places where we need you. What do you think about us figuring this out here and now? You can get involved in groups like the Heroin Epidemic Action League, or HEAL, who have been working tirelessly advocating around this issue. If you can help, I would encourage you to speak to Councilor Jimmy Giannatino, and he told me I could say his name, thank you, who is involved with HEAL and has brought discussion on this issue to the forefront. HEAL meets the first and third Monday of every month at 6:30 p.m. at the center. And this is a way that you truly can impact your community. We also need to talk about something that is thankfully not as tragic, but just as real, the city budget. The City Council has adopted a 5-year financial plan, carefully written by our controller, Laura Wills, in order to guide financial decision-making. This will also guide policy as we move forward through the budget process and beyond. The financial plan outlines the gap that will exist between revenues and expenses in 5 years and outlines 8 different options to be considered in order to mitigate that gap. Options around things like refuse collection, Casey Park, and the tax cap. The New York State tax cap limits a local government, so for us, the City of Auburn, Cuba County, or the Auburn Enlarged School District, limits the overall growth in the property tax levy to 2%, or the rate of inflation, whichever is less. Well, this year, it's less. In fact, it is 0.12%. For the city, that equals $15,000. What does that buy? A couple examples. 150 feet of a paved road, 160 feet, sorry, of a paved road, a small tower play set, or half of a police car. That's it. Pretty challenging when we have contracts, services, and capital projects that require more revenue than an additional $15,000 to meet. For the city, that limit stays in place unless the city council, by 60%, which would be 3 votes, enacts a local law that allows for an increase over the tax levy cap. The community may participate in this process because the local law is subject to a public hearing. The city council will need your input if they determine that this option needs to be pursued. So the city council and the staff will be wrestling with these options for increasing revenues and decreasing expenses as budget discussions begin in April. And we are committed to turning over every stone as we look for ways to address this gap. And this is another place that we need you. Your dollar is powerful. Where you spend it makes a big difference. So check this out. If you spend $100 in an online store like Amazon, $1 stays in our community, and that's only if the delivery person lives in the community. Otherwise, that dollar doesn't stay. If you spend your $100 in an in-town chain store like Bed Bath & Beyond, $14 stays in the community. But if you spend that $100 at an independent local business, like say Sam's Shoe Service, $48 stays in the community. So for the city budget, your dollar directly impacts sales tax, which is an extremely important revenue source for the city, and an opportunity to help decrease budget gaps and maintain services. And even more importantly, your local dollar stays in the community and continues to multiply, supporting your local business owners, who in turn use their dollars in the community. So again, this is your opportunity to make a big impact in our community. So as I close, I'm going to quote from one of my favorite songs to tell you what I see next for our city. Greater things have yet to come. Greater things are still to be done in the city. Now at this point, I will turn things back over to Mayor Quill to introduce Doug Selby, our city manager. Doug, on behalf of the employees of the city of Auburn, we want to thank you for your brilliant leadership. We look forward to seeing through projects and initiatives that you started and continue the spirit of vision and creativity that you have instilled. We will stay committed to the core values that we established together: teamwork, creativity, honesty, and integrity. Thank you, Doug. All of our best wishes and prayers follow you.
Thanks, Jenny. Once again, I do want to bring up Doug Selby because for the last 4.5 years, Doug has been the city of Auburn. He's very, very highly respected and regarded by everyone that knows him. A couple of things you do not know about Doug, and I'll be very brief, but he was actually born in Oneida, New York. And at a very, very young age, his family moved out west. Doug is a PhD. When I first found it out, I said, shouldn't we be calling you doctor? And he laughed. He said, no, it's just too confusing. The city of Las Vegas, where Doug was city manager for many years, thinks so highly of him that they named the city park after Doug. Douglas H. Selby Park. For all of you who've ever been to Las Vegas or planning to go there, it isn't in any of the casinos. It isn't in any of the hotels, and I know I looked for it. It's in the southwest section or southeast section of Las Vegas, so that's what they think of Doug. And my last parting thought is, when you have a good day and you want to hear something, or a bad day and you want to hear something funny, call Doug and myself, ask them how we were lost in a parking lot in Saratoga, New York. So it was so bad we had to get the iPhone out with a GPS on it. We didn't come back and tell a lot of people about that here, but with that, Mr. Doug Selby.
Thank you, Mayor Quill. I have to be honest, letting Mike know about 10 weeks ago that I was going to resign was really a very hard conversation, because not only did we have a great working relationship, but over the years we developed, I hope, a very lasting and deep friendship. So I really appreciate your comments, although I didn't expect you to share our secret about the parking lot. In many ways, when I told Mike I'd be leaving, and then later told the council, I felt like I was letting him down, mostly because of our close relationship. And those of you who've dealt with Mike Quill know that he has subtle ways and not so subtle ways of trying to convince you to change your mind. And he certainly did that with me. But, to be a city manager, you have to be kind of stubborn, and I think my stubbornness won out, so I will be actually leaving. So, I want to thank all the city councils that I've worked for. Mayor Quill is the only one left. He goes through councilors right and left. When I was hired 4.5 years ago to today, it's just Mayor Quill that's the same. I'd like to thank the citizens of Auburn, the city staff, which gets mentioned frequently and well-deservedly, the surrounding towns, Cuba County, the local agencies that I've worked with, and just had the opportunity to be of service to all of you for the last 4.5 years. It's really meant a lot to me. I've learned a lot. I take away all that I've learned, and I also take with me a deep affection for Auburn and the people that I've come to know and had the opportunity to work with. It's been really a great experience, and it just adds to my portfolio of life experiences that I'll always remember and cherish. I have tried to make meaningful contributions while I've been here, and if credit is ever given to me for anything good that's happened, it actually goes to the city staff, because without them, I'd be like an orchestra conductor without musicians. You can stand up here and I can wave my arms and everything, but nothing's going to happen. It's really the staff that makes it happen, and I want to thank them and acknowledge them for any credit that I may get. Certainly should be shared with them. They're talented, dedicated, and loyal employees. And along those lines, I'd like to do what we do at this event, recognize a couple of our employees that were nominated for their outstanding dedication and efforts to the city. We have pictures. Okay. These individuals happen to work in our municipal utilities department, so the water you're drinking, thanks to them, is on your table today. And after lunch, if you use the facilities, you can thank them for that. Brian Popovich, he's a great team player. In fact, he was nominated by another department head, not his own department head, but another one, because he crosses the boundaries of departments and helps everybody. He's been with the city for 19 years. He's very approachable. He's very knowledgeable. He can deal with just about any mechanical or maintenance issue associated with dams or hydropower projects or water treatment plants, pumping stations, things of that sort. For many years, he worked almost single-handedly tackling a diverse set of challenges that have kept a reliable water supply flowing to the 50,000 some customers that the city's water serves. And I'd just like to have Brian stand up and be acknowledged. Our other outstanding employee works at the other end of the pipe, Tim O'Brien. He began his career with the city in 2003 as an operator trainee at our wastewater treatment facility, and through diligent work and successfully completing a lot of training courses, he became a New York State licensed wastewater treatment facility operator, and in 2012 took the position of the city's industrial pretreatment coordinator. What that means is his job is to make sure the treatment plant is kept safe from toxic and dangerous discharges that might come from industries, and not just the treatment plant, but the discharge from the treatment plant that goes into the Wassago River. So a very important job, compliance with strict federal regulations, and he works with our industrial dischargers to make sure that we're all following the rules. He's known as a self-starter, a go-to guy for everyone in the treatment facility, and if he doesn't have an answer, he's the guy that is expected to provide it, and usually does. he's become a mentor to many of the employees and is widely acknowledged as a valuable asset to the wastewater department. So Tim, if you would stand briefly. So that's pretty much it for me. Thank you, everybody. I'll be around for a few more weeks, and then hopefully you'll see me around town from time to time, and I'll keep watching Auburn and the local area to see all the good things that I know are happening and will continue to happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, Jenny, and Doug for that presentation. Doug, on a personal note, thank you for your work. It's a pleasure to be able to come in and sit down and discuss projects with you and unique ideas and opportunities to move things forward. So you'll be missed. Thank you. This time we'll transition to the presentation by the county, and so we will ask the County Administrator, Suzanne Sinclair, to come up and begin that presentation for you. Suzanne?